Hello world, I'm Chris Pirillo, and you're watching another live video on YouTube in this YouTube channel. Hi, again. It's good to see you virtually, because I can't really see you. I don't know who you are or what you look like. So take a picture of how you're watching this video, whether it's live or not for you, and then tweet me, at Chris Pirillo. I'd be happy to know that there are other human beings on the other side of the camera lens. This is another live edition of the LockerGnome Daily Report, or TLDR for short. Your daily dose of geek news, product views, and answers that you can use, like an answer to the question, why is Chris a little tripped up right now? Because seconds before going live, Diana brought me lunch. And she included avocado, which I love, except I think it's activating my OAS. I'm getting a bit tingly in the mouth. All right, you need something a bit more geeky than food? All right, how about a Bitcoin, a commemorative Bitcoin? It's not a real Bitcoin, obviously, because Bitcoin isn't physical currency, but this is a commemorative edition, gold-plated, from Steve Mannering. I now have a Bitcoin. I have VeriCoin, too. I have almost 5,000 VeriCoin. And if you're confused about the world of Bitcoin or VeriCoin, I'm going to be doing a live broadcast for everybody later this evening with the VeriCoin gang. I don't know if they call themselves that, but they're a gang. We have like a gang sign and everything. It's like V or something. I don't know. It's not a gang. It's a group of people that are making VeriCoin happen. They're one of our top patrons, and I'll be doing a live broadcast with them later. Getting my questions about Bitcoin answered, and possibly yours as well. And of course, VeriCoin to boot. The biggest news for me, beyond actually having a Bitcoin, that's not a real Bitcoin from Steve Mannering, is that we are 4 people shy of 900 patrons as of right now. Huge news. Thank you so much. This gets me more excited than the sandwich that Diana made. Don't tell her, because I would like her to continue to make sandwiches for me. And because of you, the patrons, ChrisPirillo.com, yes, they take PayPal, we are able to get sandwiches to eat. Thank you. We do absolutely appreciate the support. I'm going to go ahead and turn off the screen right now. I'll get back to it. Today is Friday. That means it's an AMA. You've already seen one product. What? You need another product? Something that possibly just fell apart as I dropped it? I didn't mean to. Someone sent this to me, and I don't know who it was. I didn't have it. It is a Darth Vader hologram, and I believe it's a Gentle Giant. I like, obviously, Darth Vader stuff, and I did not have this one. Thank you very much. It falls apart pretty easily, which kind of frustrates me. What?
He needs a lightsaber. Saber.
Okay, what does he need?
A lightsaber.
There we go.
A lifesaver.
He's getting a potato fry lightsaber. Yeah. Pretty good, I think. Thank you, Hun, for lightsabering Darth Vader. Wicket's going to get your lightsabers if you're not careful. So, it is an AMA today, and so I'll be answering questions from the community. Neville asked, will you do Optimus Prime as your next painted character? That's awesome. Cool. I want to put that in the list. I think the next painted character as voted on by patrons is going to be the Joker, Heath Ledger's Joker. So I've got to coordinate with Lauren to make that happen. Obviously, I failed at figuring out what it would look like for an android character. Many people thought I was Shrek. I should have gone with white instead of black. I'm the one who kind of quote-unquote designed it, and Diana just painted it. But I think I'll try it again with another Google event, only this time I'll do like white instead of black. And hopefully no one will say, it's Shrek.
You think a lighter green, too?
Yeah, like a brighter green, possibly.
You could probably just add white.
Who knows? Well, either way, we're going to try it again, even though I'll probably ruin my eye at that point. Optimus Prime would be a great one. So consider me putting that officially on the list. Nayeli Dalton asks 3 things. What is something that easily annoys you? I'm not a fan of clutter, generally speaking. I deal with it, but it annoys me because everything has a place, and I want to find a place for everything. It's like trying to organize chaos is a bit of a challenge, and Diana has put up with this shortcoming of mine, a proclivity, if you will. And in turn,
my annoyance is people that arrange my stuff. I'm just kidding.
I was going to say, in turn, I put up with you giving Darth Vader lightsabers. They are light, though.
They're baked.
They taste better than a lightsaber does, too. So there's something that annoys both of us easily. What is something that you really, really, really want right now? What do I want? What have I said I wanted?
Oh, the new Darth Vader action.
Oh, the new Darth Vader action figure. That's right, the 6-inch series.
Sorry.
That is something that I want. I'm also ready for Diana to not be pregnant anymore.
You.
I'm just saying, like, come on, it's been long enough, don't you think?
You're just watching.
I think she's milking it. I think she's holding on to it.
You're gonna get in so much trouble for that.
I'm kidding. Well, no, I mean, it's like we're building up to something, and I am anxious to see what happens with our lives in baby Pirillo. What is constantly in your mind was the third question Nayeli asked. You know, honestly, right now, what's constantly in my mind is figuring out where I sit in the grand scheme of things, and this is something that I would say is further underscored with a few changes that have happened with the business model over the past 6 months. Trying to figure out, you know, the value that I want to create, the things that I want to do, and where that crosses over with where other people are, where they might want me to be. So it's constantly on my mind of how do I effectively take what it is that I do and do it better. And there's no answer. And you guys have seen me stewing about this probably over and over again, you know, to the point of nauseating or making you nauseated. But it's true. I mean, it's always on my mind. Like, you know, we got websites, but how do we create a web experience that's valuable for you as well as for us, that's different, that you want to use, that you can get to from anywhere? I'm currently in the process of figuring out what I'm going to do with LockerGnome.net. I still don't know what I'm going to do with LockerGnome.com, but I've been talking with a new startup that is intent on building apps around YouTube personalities, and so hopefully that will help solve a few problems. You know, I've taken to doing more written content for $5 patrons on up. You know, this is something that's, you know, it's very much on my mind as someone who creates content. I can't just, you know, put everything out there for free. I want to. I would love to, because, hey, who doesn't like free stuff? As a matter of fact, even though this isn't a question, you can get 30 free apps on the Amazon App Store right now. It's like their version of Android. Even though it's not Android, they forked Android. You can get 30 apps right now for free. I tweeted that link out. I guess I'll put it in the video description for you as well. Of course, if you don't watch this soon enough, you won't be able to take advantage of that offer. But it's what's constantly on my mind is how do I evolve as the industry evolves around me? Like, even with VidCon going on in Anaheim this weekend, I'm frustrated because I couldn't go. I had certain things lined up, including the documentary that was being filmed yesterday here. I had the webinar on Wednesday. Today I've got the live hangout with a patron. You know, I've got the live videos that I'm doing every single day for the people who support them. It makes it very, very difficult to do 13 things at one time. And I hear out of the announcements, I guess I was on the screen at VidCon. The CEO of YouTube had, my face apparently was on the screen somehow. I don't know. No, that I know of, no one captured this in film, but my old friend Kent Nichols, who's from Ask a Ninja, he said I was on the screen. I'm like, cool. So I'm apparently still on YouTube's radar. They never return my calls, but what are you going to do? So YouTube's getting interesting because, and this is, again, Nayeli, she asked what was on my mind. This is on my mind. YouTube's going to be rolling out like a tip jar for YouTubers. And would I turn it on? Sure, why not? I mean, some people aren't interested in being patrons. You know, they're interested in like a one-time donation. Why not, you know, fuel that? Yeah, they're rolling out 60 frame per second video. 4K is up and coming. And so I have to question in my own mind, I'm like, what am I doing now? What can I effectively do with my budget, with my own ability to do things? And I continue to move down that path of, I need to build better production around me. I need to build out a production team so that I can do 4K video and 60 frames per second video and not have to worry about editing and just, you know, just do it. And in order to do that, I have to have the resources. And to have those resources, I can't necessarily account on ad revenue. So it's just this constant climb to figuring out how am I going to get to the point where I can afford to hire people to help me be a better me. Constantly on my mind. Earl Green. Google stops ignoring enterprise, adds EMM to Android. Interesting news article there, Earl. Doesn't surprise me that Google's going to be going after the enterprise market. There's a lot of money there, and they'd be taking money right out of Microsoft's pocket, too. Gary asked, do you think life will be easier for the elderly who are no longer able to drive with the new Google car? Oh, okay. I thought, I wasn't sure where to put the who are no longer able to drive. You're talking about the elderly. Like my grandfather he was driving up till he was like 90. And he still drove well. He drove better than a lot of people, believe it or not. And he only had sight out of one eye. How's that for a scary thought if you were ever on the road with my grandfather? Either with him behind the wheel or you in another car. So, well, I guess, are you in the same car with him behind the wheel or you in another? Anyway, I think you guys understand the joke that I was making. So, I love my grandfather dearly, and do miss him. So, I think it will solve a lot of problems. Will it create more problems? Potentially. But the fact that distracted driving is a bigger killer than any other kind of driving accidents, that's telling. Because we have these smart devices here, or maybe even in the console, and they're taking our attention away. And even now with smartwatches, you know, some people saying, oh, it's great, because then I don't have to take the smartphone out of my pocket. I'm like, what do you think is going to happen when you're driving and you get a notification? What are you going to be inclined to do? I'm serious. I think that's a danger. I think smartwatches, they haven't been thought all the way through, such as to be able to, you know that you can put it in driving mode and it just will not annoy you. And I think that is going to be key for adoption, because when something buzzes, our first inclination, I mean, it's just human nature. Something, boom, over there, you look. And I think the same thing's going to happen. And I think potentially it could be a danger with smartwatches and driving. I'm not kidding, guys. I mean, and gals. I think it's a serious concern. So I think self-driving cars will not only help, you know, those who can't drive on their own, but I think it's also going to help people who can drive, who are distracted and don't necessarily mean to be distracted, or those who are impacted by other people on the road who are distracted. So I think it's going to be a huge help to humanity. I think it's going to save more lives than anything. And who could be upset about that unless you love cars? And I like cars. I think they're what I've seen and what I've used. I mean, they're nice. They get me around, but I look at cars like I look at computers, like I look at smartphones. They're tools. They enable experiences. What do I care if I drive or not drive? If I get there and I'm happy and I'm in one piece and I can do more things in transit, boom, done.
And for people that work pretty far and sleep very little.
Oh!
You know.
Commute!
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I know when I used to commute to a college from my hometown, it was about an hour and 15 minutes away. I would get so sleepy. And you know the roads in the Midwest, they're boring. So I would have liked to have napped on the way to school or have done homework. That would have been awesome.
So, you know, I think self-driving cars are a big boon. I cannot wait for them to take off. Really, I mean, not in the road, really. Sign me up. You know, they nail down most of the problems, if not all the problems. Sign me up. Mm-hmm. Sign me up. I'm a fan. Big time. So I'm sorry, I covered my mouth. I'm learning. I have to say this in the vlog too, because I was eating, and sometimes I talk with my mouth full. I don't necessarily see that as rude. Some people do, and I can understand why. But I grew up, and we had table manners. But you know,
it's like when you're around family, they don't.
Yeah, it's like family. You know, and I think of the vlog or you as you're family. Everybody who's watching it, to me, you're like family. That does not mean that I'm going to give you a loan. Ryan Reeves asks, what's your poison for the warmer summer months? Do you stick with stout or a hoppy IPA? Ryan, I love this question. You know what? I'm going to be a stout man until I am a man no more. And, well, I'm saying when I die. That's what I'm saying. I'm not, there's nothing, I plan on.
A robot?
No. I'm going to go ahead and continue. I'm a big fan of a Russian Imperial Stout and porters, and it's just a great flavor profile for me. I love it. I love the flavor. Love the flavor. So I don't care. I know, you know, summer months, it tends to be a bit heavier of a flavor profile, but, you know, it's like, do I drink light coffee in summer? No. My taste buds seem, they tend to be the same year round. So, you know, to me, a stout is good anytime, day or night. Well, I'm not saying that I drink in the morning or anything, because I guess that leads to a problem, but I'm saying that...
Cold.
Yeah, well, especially, yeah.
For the summer.
Definitely. Cool. Oh.
It's like eating ice cream.
Yeah, a good Russian Imperial Stout's my ice cream. Wish I could get more. Wish I could try more of them. I really do. This is where I have to have these wearables with sensors take off so that I can start working out. I mean, I hate to say it, but... Not that I'm lazy because, you know, there's no, you know, wrist watch. I mean, there's a few things with sensors and they help do X, Y, and Z. And they work well, and they work well enough. It's just I haven't really found one that would just fit me, so to speak. And I'm still waiting. I know one's going to come along that's going to like just, you know, help me get off my ass and work so that I can drink more.
That's your motivation.
It's exactly. Like, it's my motivation. That's how my mind works. It's a little twisted. Reese Langham asks, what would be your ideal gift? You know, my ideal gift is something that means something. Something that, not just means something to me, but potentially to the person giving the gift, and has a story behind it. So that, you know, when I see that, I have a story that's associated with a particular product. Like, you know, if someone gave me an iPhone as a gift, would I be happy? Yeah, sure, why not? But I'm not probably going to latch my, you know, my entire existence onto this device. It's a piece of technology. It's here and gone. There's nothing sentimental for me about this particular phone at all. Or, you know, if someone gave me a pair of scissors and said, here, you know, here, I have the pair of scissors. This is great. And I just don't care. There's nothing sentimental about that. This pen, however, does have sentimental value. I remember wanting this kind of pen when I was a kid. I couldn't tell you why. I just thought it was fascinating to have 4 colors. And it's sentimental.
The sandwich.
The sandwich is not sentimental because it's causing my throat to get scratchy. My OES is activating.
Oh, and that's a good question because your birthday is exactly a month from yesterday.
Thank you for reminding me that I'm going to be 41. That's great. Moving on. So you guys get to get the feel for the gift there. I hope so. I'm going to go ahead and flip through the list of patrons who deserve the credit because they're at a certain patron level, even though every patron deserves to get credit. Yeah, there's the VeriCoin people. We're going to be talking with them later. George Barrett, and thank you, George, for tweeting me and letting me know this happened. But he asked, have you seen the new Doctor Who trailer for Season 8? Any thoughts based on this, or is it too early to tell? Personally, I think it's going to be very different when it comes back and in a good way. The trailer is very, very brief. You can't really read anything into it. I don't have any thoughts other than I'm excited. I cannot wait for August to roll around for a couple of different reasons. One, Vlogger Fair, and 2, the new Doctor Who episode. I think Capaldi's going to be a different Doctor, but I'm going to reserve judgment. I don't know. It took me more than a few episodes to like Matt Smith. And Matt Smith's not my Doctor. Oh, honey, I didn't wear my shirt.
I know.
Go get the shirt. I said I was going to wear it today. Otherwise, I'm lying in the vlog that went up, or will be going up. Baby, I'm sorry. Here, you sit here. You sit here, and I'll put on the shirt.
I'll get it.
Okay, well, I'm going to have to come off camera, because I'm not going to, like, sit here with my shirt off on YouTube again. Yeah, again. So anyway, I've got something special that I'm going to be wearing. Sorry if I blocked anybody's name. If I did, I apologize. I will go back and give credit to them. If you saw your name got skipped, I'd be happy to put it in there. These are the patrons, by the way. Or not all of them, just some of them. By the way, and speaking of patrons, the new pledge poll happens on the 1st of the month, which is in a few more days.
Oh, no.
Richard, what?
Feels a little wet.
Feels wet? Oh, it is damp. Okay,
Wear it over that shirt.
Alright, you sit here, hon. I'm not going to wear it over the shirt. You sit here. I'm going to change my clothes and be back in a second. Now, be careful because patrons are still going up there, and I think I accidentally, like, moved my hand in front of them. But I don't
Okay. What are the questions?
The questions, well, they're really for me.
Oh, they are?
Questions, because you're not really, you're not really answering questions necessarily. Okay, well, what kind of gift do you like?
I like, well, I don't know.
Okay.
I like everything.
All right.
I like sparkly things.
That's great. Thank you.
And food and...
So basically your Twitter profile.
Well, Chris gave me, like, this crystal for, like, as a gift. I think it was for my birthday. He gave me, like, a crystal bracelet. So now, like, on birthdays or anniversaries or stuff like that, it kind of became, like, our tradition. Oh, look at... Is it
He didn't lick my sandwich.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, he did. I saw him lick my sandwich. I don't want it. I don't want it.
Don't eat it. I'm in the middle of explaining.
Okay.
So, it kind of became a tradition. Now he gives me that certain... What is it? What would you call it?
What do you mean tradition?
It's like a crystal.
Now, hang on. What's this tradition of crystal? I didn't realize this was a tradition.
Yeah.
That was a one-time thing.
No, was it?
Yeah, it was. When did I say it was a tradition?
He got me one for Christmas.
That's not a tradition.
And for my birthday.
Yeah, but it's still not a tradition.
Okay, then it's not a tradition.
Okay.
I guess I thought wrong.
Woo! Dodged a bullet there.
I like that sort of stuff because it's, I don't know. And this certain crystal, they only make jewelry that's limited time, so not everybody has it after they sell out. It's like crystal jewelry. What is it, a crystal rock? I don't know. Anyways, I like food too. Candy. Chocolate-covered fruits.
Gifts?
Mm-hmm.
Not just... Okay.
Why?
I don't know. I didn't know.
I'm not picky.
No, you're not. All right. Thank you, baby. Thank you, everybody, for listening.
That probably cools you off.
It does. It's still a little damp. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Isn't this an awesome t-shirt? I wouldn't know if I'm going to wear it very often because it's not super soft. I think it's going to need to go through like 50 more cycles.
Yeah.
But dude, how's that for news today with Doctor Who? Huh? Yeah? I probably just made George Barrett's day. Richard Wooding asks, how do you display your Lego minifigures, those which aren't arranged in a scene? I optimize for space, so I tend not to, think too hard about placing them. I have a feeling when baby Pirillo comes and we start child-proofing, gates are going to go up. And I mean, thick gate, we're going to have to figure out some kind of, baby cannot get into these rooms in any way, shape, or form. And I don't know how we're going to pull that off yet. I really don't. I think it's going to be a custom thing. But I just don't know. I don't know what it's going to be yet. Those baby gates that I've seen, no way, dude. They can easily get through those. And I don't think locking the door is necessarily practical either. So
install them. Like wooden gates?
Yeah, like something that could work.
Sorry.
I just haven't found it yet. So that's really I just love this shirt. I love how it looks. I don't like how it feels.
It's cool looking.
It's really sad. That's what depresses me about t-shirts is so many of them suck in terms of how they feel. Yep, George Barrett. Yep, day made. Told ya. Okay, George. Here. I'll give you a chance. I'm gonna screen. You guys can screenshot away. Put it on social. And you can put Chris Pirillo is happy about the Doctor Who announcement. Here's what Chris Pirillo thinks about the Doctor Who announcement. Well, here. Let's do this.
That's the first time I've seen you in a tie.
Hey, honey! Oh my God! Oh, honey! Ha 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 ha! Ha ha! Okay, so then you can meme it. Go to memedad.com. It's my favorite meme site. It's so easy to use. memedad.com. Matt Palmer. Whoa! I turned away, and when I turned back, Chris suddenly got better looking. Oh, I think he was talking about you. Or maybe not. Maybe he was talking about my Doctor Who thing that I'm all happy about. I don't know. People, they leave comments, and I don't know what they mean. All right, I'm now going to flip over. I'm reading the live comments that are coming through on the live video feed. Thank you for anybody who was able to show up during our live broadcast. So sorry. So sorry. Turning to the open Facebook thread. This is a chance for you guys to ask, anybody to ask me anything, really. Matthew Topolsky asks, why are you so awesome? I appreciate you saying that. I don't think I'm awesome. I'm just Chris Pirillo. Period. Diogo Fernandez asks, what do you think about Huawei phones? Haven't really had a chance to use a Huawei phone. I don't know. I'd welcome the opportunity to use a Huawei phone. That's how you say the word, too, by the way.
It sounds like
Huawei.
a fruit.
A Huawei?
Yeah. It's not.
This is me looking like the girl is doing this. You know the meme I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Huawei. No, it's fruit. Where do you get fruit?
Are you thinking of guava?
Yeah, I think you're thinking of guava.
Guayava. Or guayava. Or guava. Baby, he drools on your pillow and you sleep on it.
I just ate Wicket. Well, not Wicket himself. Wicket's not in the sandwich. You know what?
Gives it some.
Yeah, it gives it a kick. The whole saliva thing. Gregory Mohammed asks, what are the winning lotto numbers? 17, 64, 7, 2, and 8. Now, he didn't ask me which lotto that was, but inevitably, those are going to be winning lotto numbers somewhere.
You gotta throw in a disclaimer. If they win, they gotta
split the winnings with me or my family. Because I may be dead.
Take us on a vacation with them.
But we may be dead. By the time those lotto numbers work, we're going to be gone.
Oh,
yeah. Ziad Jibar asks, I want to study in America. Can you help me? Not directly, but I suggest learning online. A lot of stuff you can learn. In fact, I think we may even have discounts at deals.lockergnome.com for online classes as well. Moad Husani asked, how to be a programmer? Just dive in. I'm going to ask Jerry to give me some tips this weekend. We're doing a live Geek Out tomorrow. And yes, there will be stouts involved. And remember, again, patrons get priority with answering those questions there. I'm going to ask him his top 5 or 6 tips. And then much like I did the How to Start with YouTube video today, I'm going to record one of those with Jerry tomorrow. And it'll be a collab of how to be a programmer. What do you think? Mm-hmm. I'm really enjoying that kind of series of how to start, how to be, how to do X, Y, and Z. Who knows where that's going yet? It may have a shelf life. I don't know. People seem to like them, though. Mm-hmm. There's only so much I can do on a daily basis, but I'll try to answer that question at length because I'm not a programmer. Richard Gillespie asks, Leia or Padme? Leia. Brian Helmley asks, the most important thing you learned from one of your first jobs that has impacted your life today? Gosh. Don't do something that bores you to death? Really? That'd be the most important thing I learned. Don't do something that bores you to death. Simon Nguyen asks, Nexus 7 or iPad Mini Retina? Sorry. Nexus 7 or iPad Mini Retina? I thought I did a video on this already, didn't I? Swear I did. If not, it's a given. If I want to run Android software, I totally use the Nexus 7. If I want to run iOS software, I totally go for the iPad Mini Retina. There's the answer to your question. Eric Zhu asks, what do you think of the Nexus 5? I think it's a smartphone. Eric Zhu asks, what do you think of the new Android Wear? Kind of covered that earlier. And even posted a couple of, I thought, humorous images about it. I think Android Wear has promise and potential. The issue I see is that every use case of Android Wear to this point, and I haven't used one yet, so I can't pass judgment, but it's always like, oh, they're using it like they would a smartphone, only it's a smaller screen and on their wrist. Like, what does it do that's different other than it's here? And it's potentially more annoying you with notifications. Like, oh, leave me alone. To me, what I think of the new Android Wear is it has potential, but what I want, more than anything, is one of those things that's slim. I don't need a big screen here. I don't want a big screen here. I don't like wearing things, so I don't want anything big and bulky. Something that's clean, that's lightweight, that adds to my life, that isn't just an option, it's like essential. Pack that. And I tell you what, if someone releases something that looks good, that runs well, I don't even need it to be quote unquote affordable. Pack that thing out with sensors. Give me data that I'm making or I'm around, but give me that data in a more automated fashion. Give me more data. That's what I want. I don't wear watches. I've yet to be convinced. But again, I haven't used an Android Wear device, so I can't pass judgment on it. So from a distance, it doesn't look like it's a must-have accessory. And I'm looking for something that's a must-have. But I haven't used it. Maybe it'll turn into a must-have. I don't know. I don't know. I do not know. I don't think anybody can pass full judgment unless they've used it or unless they've tried it. PC moving to EIF. That makes no sense, Hugo Garcia. James Yu. Okay, this is about the last question I think I'm going to be able to address, and I think it's a good one. What do you think about the Google L? Okay, James, I think you mean Android L, and this is the new experience or the interface for Android. I tweeted this earlier, and I also posted it to Facebook and Google Plus as well. I think that Android L, the next iteration of the design ethos coming down the pike from Google, specifically in relation to Android, potentially their web apps, because I expect a cohesiveness in design across the board, and from everything that Google had presented. I think, screw it, you know what I'm going to do? Do you know what I'm going to do, hon?
What?
I am going to quote myself, because I said this, and I said it very, very well. I'll tell you this. Android L already looks a hell of a lot more polished. I'm reading my own words, the words that I wrote, and I can't even say them correctly. Android L already looks a hell of a lot more polished and elegant than iOS 7 or 8. Flat out. I really like the design ethos that I've seen to this point from Android. Now, does that mean, Android L specifically? I was never happy with iOS 7 and the way it looks and feels. And does this mean, oh, does that mean you're going to switch to Android? It's not that simple. What have I beaten you over the head with before? It's not just one device. It's one device among many. So I'd also have to consider, well, what's my use case with this, with the TV, with the computer, with everything? What's my use case? And, you know, I'm happy to use Google services on iOS and OS X, but I can't use, you know, Apple services, you know, with interoperability inside of Google's ecosystem. So there's always going to be a trade-off, and I don't know. I genuinely do not know. I just know that outright, I like the way Android L looks a hell of a lot more than I've liked the way that iOS 7 has looked. Maybe iOS will change it. Maybe some refinements are still coming down the pike. I haven't had use case with iOS 8 with continuity with OS X. So it's not as simple as, well, you should switch outright if you like the way that the other device looks. It's not as simple anymore. Now, don't get me wrong. If we weren't in the same place that we are today, if I didn't have an Apple TV, if I didn't have OS X, if I didn't have this Apple product or that Apple product, it'd probably be an easier decision to make. Flat out. Honest with you guys. I mean, that's the truth. So, as I said, I'm fascinated with the direction that Google's going. I think they're going the right direction. Very happy to hear about their new design language, or their ethos with design, and come out and said it. I think Android L looks a hell of a lot more polished and elegant compared to iOS 7 or 8. But it's not shipped yet. It's not ready. It's not final. But I just like what I see. I really do. I like the way Google's going with its software. Absolutely. Hey, I use Google Chrome. That says a lot, or it should say a lot, really. Or,
as I like to call it, L Android.
L Android, because she speaks Spanish. L Android. This is why I keep her around. Plucky comic relief and a stand-in when I, you know, have to change shirts. So thank you everybody for tuning in. Thank you for tuning in. I'm going to go ahead and start winding down in about a half hour or so. I'm going to answer another question asked by the community, what I would do with Yahoo. I can't wait to answer that question in a separate video. That's a patron-only video. I do 5 of them every week. 4 of them are just for patrons. 1 is public. That one's usually done on a Monday. Today's a Friday. And what else? There's something else I think I had to cover before closing out. No. Not really, except for the people now watching the live stream are talking about your food. So you can watch Diana's channel.
Oh, yay.
So it's a family thing when we do this stuff at home, and it's about to get more familial to everybody. Oh, live stream also in the other YouTube channel, the vlog YouTube channel. Diana and I are going to do snack time together. We're going to be eating some Canadian snacks this time and chatting with people in real time, not just patrons, but anybody. So, you know, we're spreading the love around. We're making sure everybody is about as happy as they could be with the things that we are doing for you. Thanks again if you're out there for remembering to like, comment, share, subscribe, becoming a patron, watching even more of our videos right now. We really appreciate that kind of support. Appreciate your time. That is the most valuable thing you have, believe it or not. And it's also the most valuable thing I have. I know you were thinking, oh, I thought the Darth Vader was no. Time. Time not important, only life important. You like that? No, you don't. So you're confused. Okay, I will stop then. I'm going to leave everybody to their own devices. We'll see you later.